Let's see what these energy bites do to my blood sugar. Hi, I'm Sula. I'm insulin resistant and I'm wearing a CGM. Now, I've been making these energy bites for years. I make them almost every time I see my granddaughter, which is a couple of times a year because we live 1,000 miles apart. But they're kind of a healthier version of a cookie. And so as I was visiting her this time, she asked for some, and I thought, well, that would be a great thing to pack in your lunch. However, peanut butter is not allowed. Like all the schools are nut free these days, so I had to make some adjustments. And I also thought, well, they're delicious. I love them too. So let's see what the effect is on my blood sugar when I have these. So first of all, let's talk about my typical recipe. I always start with oats, old-fashioned oats, some chocolate chips. I use the mini chips because they distribute a little bit better within the bite, and some flaxseed meal. That would be more of a nod toward the healthy part of this. And then, of course, we need stuff to bind it all together. So I use peanut butter, honey, and then flavor it with a little bit of vanilla. I also sprinkle some chia seeds in there, one more little bit of, it helps bind it as well as add a bit of a healthy benefit. So all you do is mix it all together and then kind of you refrigerate it, kind of let it set up a little bit, and then form it into balls and then keep them in the fridge and they're ready to go whenever you need some. However, since we have this whole nut-free thing going on here, I had to make some adjustments. So the first adjustment I made, of course, was I had to find a substitute for the peanut butter. And what I did was an automatic win always with this child, which is to use Biscoff cookie butter spread. Who doesn't like cookie butter, right? And but when you think about it, it's just another way of adding sweetness to it. So I made those energy bites and they were a hit for sure. She's had a couple in her lunch every day for a week now. And I thought, well, I'm going to try it too. So I've been fasting for a few hours and went out for a hike. So I was pretty much starving and ready for some kind of a boost from something. So I had 2 of those Biscoff energy bites and then waited to see what it did to my glucose curve. Well, I had a little bit of a spike. That highest, the peak, it went to 149. So above that 140 threshold that you're hoping to stay within. So not the greatest. And I think there's a couple of factors. One, yeah, there's quite a bit of sugar in these little bites. And number 2, it was on an empty stomach. So later I tried it again. I had a really healthy dinner, basically a chicken breast that I fried up. I had a side salad dressed with an oil and vinegar dressing, and then also some asparagus. So this is a really healthy, very low carb meal. And then right after I had that meal, I helped myself to just one energy bite. And I thought I would see, okay, because in theory, when you eat protein and fiber, it helps slow down your digestion so that you're not absorbing that sugar so quickly when you eat something that is a carbohydrate source. And sure enough, it worked. So I monitored my levels the rest of the night, and at the highest, it only got to 114. So that's proof that if you eat the right foods and in the right order, you can enjoy an occasional indulgence. It was a small portion, only one. Let's show you the size again. Only one of these. However, it is a way that you can enjoy just a little bite of a dessert right after a meal and not feel like you're completely spiking your glucose curve. Then I tried one more experiment. For this one, I also had some SunButter. So instead of peanuts, they use sunflower seeds to make the butter. It's a peanut butter like spread, same consistency, and I used that as a substitute in my next batch of energy bites. Tried those out on an empty stomach again, 2 of them, and lo and behold, I only peaked. I did go up a little higher, but it didn't go above 124. This too is a really great bit of information because, to be perfectly honest, I was thinking I'd have to substitute out that honey because it's a third of a cup of honey in a batch of these. So it's a pretty significant, and I mean, honey is so concentrated in sugar. So I was surprised. I was actually surprised that I was able to eat 2 of these on an empty stomach and not have my sugars go above 124. That's a big win. I think when I get back home, because I have some I have some honey substitutes at home, I think I might try this again with one or more of those pretend honeys, if you will, just to see what that does. But to be honest, just substituting out that SunButter, probably the peanut butter, like pure peanut butter itself, would be just fine too. But again, you do you. It's everyone's body's a little bit different. But for me, I was able to eat a couple of these made with the SunButter and successfully keep myself within the range. So woohoo for me. I'm pretty happy about that. I hope this helps you in your glucose journey. Those of us who are pre-diabetic have to band together, I think. Thanks for watching and have a great day.